Is there other ways to farm and produce agricultural products that can be healthier? There's science, there's data that shows that there is. Do we always have to use all the tools in our toolbox as a preventative measures, or can we try to approach growing our crops healthy first? The last few years have been a little challenging with crop production and the cost of everything going up. Just trying to figure out where it's going to stop, and so it stretches me thin a little bit. So I'm starting to learn how to try to juggle that the best I can. But can we truly get healthier food on the store shelves that last? So if you have a plant or a crop of onions that has a spot that looks bad, or it's got a disease in it, uh, I start to look at it now and say, all right, why is it sick? Why does it have the disease? Yeah, I can spray the crop, and typically what we do is spray everything
Mhm.
because we assume, okay, it's going to spread. Well, why did it start there, and then what can we do to prevent it, or will it spread? Because that goes back to just being scared. You get something in a high value crop, you want to try to eliminate it and get rid of that pest so that you can stay in business. So my idea of a healthy crop is truly looking at it and trying to come up with a basis of what the nutritional value is that those plants need to have, as far as from sap analysis or tissue analysis. What is actually getting into the plant. Fertilizer is so expensive now that when I go and apply the traditional recipes that folks did for 30 years, I want to know that I'm getting that fertilizer to move in that plant. If that's the case, if I'm spending that money, I want to make sure I'm getting a return off of it. So I wanted to kind of come back to the basis and say, okay, what can I grow here nutritionally to provide for just my local community at first? Give them a way to get some good tasting, good flavored food that they may not be used to. They started using the term nutrition density, or the phrase nutritional density, and that's where I started saying, okay, I feel like personally that's where we got to go as a message to the consumer, is
Mhm.
because we all experience it. I mean, we all know we can go eat something and we eat this big old plate of food, and we're like, okay, we're stuffed, but then we're hungry an hour later. And so it's
Right.
like, okay, that means we're not getting that nutrition we need. We're filling up, but we're not getting full really of what we need. So what is it that we're truly missing? We think we're getting that nutrition and we really aren't. I've been working on AI products for uh, weed control and that kind of stuff for the last few
Mhm.
years now. I've seen laser weeding. I purchased
Mhm.
a product that's AI herbicide control, where we just spray just the weed with a machine that's made more for like onions and vegetables and stuff.
Right.
And then I've got an Israeli company that is going to be bringing a mechanical harvesting AI machine here. Matter of fact, I think it's supposed to be next week, to try to test in onions and do some work with their engineers to get it to where it can work in our onions specifically, because onions tend to be a vegetable that's planted really close together. So a farmer my size can afford one.
Mhm.
A farmer smaller than me can afford one. So that's the other thing, is trying to get the right technology here that we in ag can afford to invest in and use, because there's not much. If the folks on the other end don't want to give us more money for it, it's our investment that we're just taking the risk on. We've reduced our acreage in onions,
Mhm.
just trying to become a little bit, I don't know, I guess you could say, uh, responsive, I guess, proactive. So we reduce our acres. We're going to grow around 250 acres of onions.
Mhm.
We grow about 100 acres of watermelons. We grow two crops of peas that equal about 150 acres. Peas are a good item to really try to get this message through, because a good tasting pea is amazing in the South. I mean, and people
Mhm.
love it. So I've had pile of compliments on our peas that we've been growing. So I like that. I mean, that's kind of
Yeah.
like that reassurance that I need. We're gonna dab into a little bit of cabbage.
Mm.
Just some things, trying to change the business model to try to get some cash flow coming in the whole season.
Right.
Um, and just kind of work our way back into a better, more comfortable financial position in ag as we are in today. We have about 200 acres of corn, and then we grow about 800 acres of soybeans. Probably going to transition more into some peanuts. I think the regenerative approach for peanuts can be really good for Georgia. If I think that could be really good because I see how well peanut crop grows here. Um, and if we can do some other things with that. Also, I think it could be big for cotton here. We manage about 1,500 acres total, give or
Mhm.
take. Um, but again, with us cutting back some on onions, we may try to shave that number down a little bit too, because it's just if I was getting 30% more for a box of onions or something, it would be different. But we're getting the same price, so I've got to be a little bit more strategic on that.